That's right. The December number coming in a drop of 1.1%. That's after a drop of 1% in November. So maybe the holiday season wasn't what it was cracked up to be. Taking a look at our retail space, consumer discretionary has been the strongest sector this year. But guess what, Brad? We got a Party City bankruptcy we're going to talk about in a little bit. Also want to get to some inflation numbers we got this morning on the producer front. This is PPI. The medium estimate came in at negative 0.1%. And guess what? The BLS said that final demand producer prices, they rose 0.2%. So all in all, we're getting a little bit of good news on the inflation front, but definitely not in the retail space, Brad.
Yeah, and so let's dive further into that report, Jared, and I'll kind of bring you back over to the desk for this conversation because, I mean, when we really break down some of the numbers and go into this report on the retail sales front, some of the areas that inflation remained high and actually ticked up a little bit here in terms of the month-over-month change and even the 12-month total where that still remains elevated. Of course, on the 12-month total, you're going to see those highs in gasoline stations. You're still going to see those highs in some of the areas like food and beverage stores. But then you take a look at some of the month over month and what's taken place there. And I think that's exactly where the Fed is going to be looking towards to see exactly how some of the mechanisms that they put in place from a policy standpoint are starting to take effect. And the retail sales number that falls is something that they're going to want to see alongside some of their other core inflationary benchmarks that they're tracking up against in order to really determine the policy going forward from here and whether we get some type of pause in their strategy this year.
I think it's ironic, Brad, that with all the bad data out, we're still in a bad news is bad news environment because the Fed, Jerome Powell, has not flinched. He takes a look at these numbers. I have to think that even given the last CPI numbers that moderated with the headline number to a 6 handle, the food and energy number, those taken out with a 5 handle, you put all that together, still well above that 2% threshold.